Welcome back to The Grind. In this video, we're going to talk about the details of the Danav update. And unfortunately, these update will not go live until next season. So you won't actually get to see it in action before having to take your pick, which is quite disappointing. And unfortunately, I will not get to test fly the new Danav unless I decide to get him myself. Now, the update definitely does help Danav destroy bases a little bit easier and protect himself a little bit more so. But the question is it going to be enough to make him worthwhile as a mythic dragon? Particularly, will he stand up next to Naja? And I don't think we can reliably say that he will be a solid mythic, especially in comparison to Naha. Or Naja, however you want to say it. Now, the changes are good, and I think that if these changes were increased even more, then this dragon would become quite overpowered, potentially. But let's discuss these adjustments. So first, Blade Storm is the white spell that protects Danav from all damage and super shots. The spell duration used to be 3 seconds, and now it's 4. So that's a pretty solid increase because it does allow you more time to destroy the Storm Tower as well as a Mage Tower before you become vulnerable, which would then allow you to freeze the towers if you had more time. So this also increases the amount of damage that the spell does because it's damage per second. So it gives you an extra second of damage from that spell. So this is a good addition to Danav because from my previous video, I struggled to get through the towers in time and the Blade Storm spell would end right before I could get through the towers necessary. So I would take damage and eventually die. Next is Destroyer's Wrath, which is the bonus breath damage spell that slowly drains rage. And the bonus damage previously was 250% and now it's 300%. So this is actually a pretty decent increase as well, which in addition to the prolonged Blade Storm will allow us or Flyers of Danav to destroy towers quicker to allow you to get through the key towers before the spell ends so that you can then start freezing towers to protect yourself. And the final change that was made was Delight in Destruction is no longer a blue spell, but it is now a white spell, which makes it easier in terms of only being required to get through the Storm Tower and the Red Mage before you can start using all of Danav's spells. Previously, you would have to get through the blue Mage Tower as well in order to gain back rage and allow some healing. So that was very challenging, especially if the mages weren't beside each other and if you weren't able to destroy both at the same time with breath damage because it does take a very specific location in order to do that. Now, all you need to do is get through the Storm Tower and the Red Mage, and then your whole spell kit is unleashed. You can freeze the towers. You can use Delight in Destruction to gain back rage and allow you to heal for that spell's duration and continue to freeze towers to prevent taking super shots and damage. So I'm going to show some clips from my previous video of how to fly Danav. This is before the changes so that you can see the struggle that was just to barely get through the towers necessary in order to use the spells. And now it'll be easier in order to do that. However, to really know whether or not these changes are enough, I would have to fly the dragon myself or watch people fly the dragon. Unfortunately, we're not able to do so, and so it's really hard to judge exactly. But this dragon will be a little bit stronger. I did enjoy flying this dragon previously, and with a little bit extra damage, I think that he would be reasonable for his own tier. So if you want an easy dragon to fly and you don't really care to hit up with it, then this dragon is not a terrible dragon. But it's not going to be hitting much higher bases than its own tier like Naja can do. And at endgame, you're not going to easily clear max level bases, I don't think, especially with a defender healing the towers and throwing multiple rounds of super shots. So for me personally, I'm going to get Naja because I know Naja is a strong dragon and will be reliable for me in the future. And I think that Naja is definitely going to be the best of the two mythics. But Danav has the aspect of the variability in class if you're looking for that. The dark class if you want that, and the ability for it to go on a perch in the future if that's something you prefer. So if you don't necessarily need another attack dragon, then this isn't a bad option. You probably won't use it very much or in a very meaningful way compared to other dragons in your roster, but everyone's a little bit different. Some people don't like flying hunters or invokers, and so warriors, this is a fun warrior to have. If you didn't get Gig, it's a reasonable option. I'm sorry, did I say dark class? It's a wind warrior. For some reason, the look makes me feel like it's a dark dragon. However, like I said, if you don't have Meglock or Gig and you really want a warrior, then this may not be a terrible one, but I can't vouch for how strong it really will be with these changes. So I'm going to go for Naja myself. But if you have Danav or still plan to get Danav, I would appreciate if you could send some footage with the new update that comes once it's released so I can share it on my channel for those who also have Danav. So I wish I had better news about this update being amazing, and I wish I was able to commit to a better answer about whether or not this dragon will be decent or not, but it's very hard to say without actually being able to experience it myself or see other people fly it. But definitely will be better than it previously was, and I think a fair bit better than it previously was. So you can always go back and look at my How to Fly Danav video, which was before the update, and you can see the bases that I was able to destroy with difficulty. Will definitely be able to destroy with ease and potentially destroy some stronger bases. So take a look at that to help you decide if you want to risk it with this new updated Danav or not. And good luck with the remainder of the season, and I'll see you in the next video.